Welcome to Contracting Conversations. My name is Scott Williams, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jim Valley. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Rhonda Moss from the Mid-Atlantic region. Rhonda is a professor of software engineering. She's an agile coach, and she's also DAU's lead for AI research. Welcome to the show, Rhonda.
Thank you, Scott. Really glad to be here.
Rhonda, just to get us started, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what we'll be talking about today.
Okay, good. Well, I've been at DAU and a government DoD employee for about 5 years. Prior to that, I worked in Silicon Valley and Wall Street in the software industry for 30 plus years. We won't get into how long. And I retired early and decided to come to the government to try to help with the software problem. I had been involved in 9/11 from a software perspective on the private sector end of things. I really wished, when we said things like, the reason 9/11 happened was because our agencies couldn't get their data working together. I always said, why don't they call us? So when I retired, I had been a military brat my entire life, grew up exclusively on military bases and then a military wife. So total 27 years in this world. And I wanted to come back and help. So that's why I'm here. When AI started to get really hot about, 2020, 2021 here in DoD, somebody in DAU said, hey, does anybody know anything about AI? And I put my hand up because I had had quite a bit of experience with modern software and AI in Silicon Valley. So that's how I became an AI subject matter person here at DAU.
All right. Thanks, Rhonda. I can't tell you how excited we are to have you on the podcast. We've been trying to do this for months, and we just want to look for just the right time. And we know AI is a hot topic. I mean, all AI assets at DAU seem to be hot right now, no matter what we provide. The acquisition community is pretty excited. So what I need to ask from you with this, because this is going to be a really good series, so there's going to be several episodes. What are we going to talk about when it comes to AI in this series?
Oh, such a great question. Well, I know, we brainstormed on it, and we're certainly willing to take ideas from your listeners, but here's what we're thinking. We're thinking an episode on what is AI really, right? So we all are playing with AI. We know it's on our phones, but what is it really? If you're an acquisition professional, you're going to go buy or build AI, what is it? So we'll get into that. I think we're going to do one on what's going on in DoD with AI. Just where are we, right? Why is it taking so long to come up with guidance for AI, for instance? Bluff on that one is it's nobody's fault. So we'll explain that. I think we're also talking about one on what we know today about contracting for AI. Not using AI to do contracting better, but contracting for AI over and above what we do today to contract for modern software. What do we need to think about? Because there's no real guidance yet. So we won't issue guidance either, but we'll tell you what we've found in the research and what we have been talking about with experts from MITRE and from IDA, for instance. And so we'll try to bring those ideas in. And then we're also thinking about the real exciting side of things, how AI can be applied to contract management or contracting. So what are we seeing there, right? And then, we want to do one where we just talk about AI. And I think for that one, Jim and Scott, we talked about what if we could get questions from your listeners? What do you guys need to know about AI? What are your hard questions you want answered? And so I think that's where we're at right now in terms of episodes. But just like AI, I think we're willing to change quickly on a dime.
Yes, I agree, Rhonda. We have to be able to be agile when it comes to this topic. And even if we,
right.
in this series, we don't quite get to some of these questions, we will add more. We'll add more podcasts if we need to. And I know, Rhonda, we had talked about possibly even providing an updated podcast on AI, maybe every 3 to 6 months, or whatever we need to do to our listeners up to date on what is going on with AI, because it is changing rapidly. And we'll hear about some of that in this series. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it's crazy because probably 3 months. If you think about when ChatGPT came out in November of last year, within, I think, the first 2 months, it had 100 million users. And now, I just went on 2 weeks vacation and I came back and hadn't looked at ChatGPT for a couple of weeks. I really tried to, decompress. And it has changed so much in the past 2 weeks. It's now looking at the internet. It's now doing all kinds of things, trying to keep up with Google Bard that was already doing that. And so when we talk about the pace of change being faster in DoD, remember when General Mattis in the 2018 National Defense Strategy said, at the pace of relevance, right? We're going to change at a relevant pace. He wasn't kidding, right? He was projecting what he was feeling for the future. But if you look now, here we are in almost 2024, 4 years later, and the pace of change truly is sometimes weekly or monthly. So, yeah, I guess we'll go with how often we need to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a really fun series for all of us, and especially for our listeners. But Rhonda, just to kind of get us whet our appetite just a little bit for what's to come, in just a couple of minutes, the 2-minute warning, can you tell us what AI actually is, just very quickly?
Ooh, great question. Okay, so at the nuts and bolts of it, AI is software. So if you're working in acquisition as a contracting person or otherwise, and you're thinking, what do I need to do for this AI thing we're about to buy? At the baseline level, AI is modern software running on hardware, right? Whether that hardware is a server, a super server with GPU cards, for instance, or a robot, something robotic, something autonomous, any kind of machine that it runs on. So it's always, at least today, software running on some kind of advanced hardware. So I like to say advanced software running on advanced hardware with the same old data we've always used. So AI takes in a lot of data in order to do anything useful, but there is no special AI data. It's using all of our regular data from the software IT world that we've had for years and that we're creating every day. And that's what it is. So if you're stumped with, gee, what is it? Is it this magical thing that is, almost human like? No, it's still software. It's binary ones and zeros, right? It's just very well written software in some cases, and it's modern software. So if you work in the software industry, you should certainly be spinning yourself up on AI. And I think of it as, if we didn't have the term AI, which is kind of a buzz term in some circles, there are, researchers and professors and academics who wish we never called it AI, but it would just be the next version of modern software, right? So there really is no difference. Now it's different. It's a different kind of software, right? And so we'll talk about that in the next episode, I think. But at the end of the day, AI is advanced software running on advanced hardware using the same old data we've always had.
Awesome. Thank you, Rhonda. This is going to be a great series, and we're so much looking forward to it.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait to hear from your listeners as well.
Okay, Rhonda. So this is just, the first podcast in our series. And so before I go into what I need from the audience out there, can you just tell us what you want to end this podcast with?
Ooh, well, AI isn't as magical as we think it is. In some ways it is, right? But I also want to make sure that we can normalize AI in this series as much as we can. It's not as scary as it sounds. Now, can this software do some pretty incredible things? And does it sometimes get things wrong? It does, right? Garbage in, garbage out never was so true as it is now. I think, anyone who got their computer science degree 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, one of the first things they said, garbage in, garbage out. Still true today. But because AI can do things so much faster and take in so much more data and process it, any kind of garbage that goes in is magnified. And that's where we get these AI hallucinations and things like that. So what I want everyone to know is we're going to try to demystify it here. And, there aren't a lot of AI professionals in the world. There aren't enough. And frankly, there aren't enough software professionals in the world. If you've ever been on a program where you're trying to hire them, it's hard, right? Especially, being us here in the government with the salary structures that we have. Now, there are people trying to fix that for us, and they've made some inroads. But if you're a person that's interested in AI, even a contracting officer interested in AI, go ahead and get more education about AI. If you're a statistician who's been kind of like sitting back in DOD waiting for the phone to ring when somebody needs help, we need you for AI now, right? So I don't want people to be afraid of AI or think it's something mysterious. And if they didn't go get their computer science degree, they can't help, right? I think it's exactly the opposite. You can help.
All right, thanks, Rhonda. I can't tell you how excited we are about this. And you brought up this idea of, hey, we can't just automatically assume what information we're getting from AI to be perfect, and we should do our own research to make sure that what we're getting is good. I do that with Bing Chat, which DAU uses, because it gives me references, right? So that's one way to do that, to see, okay, where is it getting this information that it's given me? So thank you so much for bringing that up. For everybody out there, that's the end of this podcast. But I want to ask you a favor, and that is, Rhonda brought up how we need your questions. Is there something about AI that Rhonda, can demystify for you? Please give us your questions. Put it in the chat below. I will put my email address in the description also, and you can send your questions directly to me. And we will make sure at some point, whether it's during this series or an added podcast that's part of the series that we weren't expecting, because I'm expecting we're going to get some great questions from this audience, Rhonda. So for those out here, this is the first time you've listened to Contracting Conversations, there's plenty of ways you can reach us. And DAU Media obviously is one of them, where you can subscribe. You have to sign into your account. You also can do that through YouTube, and I have a link below in the description, and also Apple Podcasts. So please subscribe, press the like button if you like the video. It does help the algorithms that YouTube uses and Apple Podcasts. So please help us to help you. And we are looking forward to having future contracting conversations with you.